Good afternoon. This is Sandi Smith, your Grown Folk Global Correspondent. Today we're coming to you from a cruise ship in wonderful Central America. We will be interviewing a passenger, Elaine, who's traveling alone for the first time. We'll learn some tips and some suggestions from her for other women who are traveling this way. So stay tuned. We think you're going to enjoy a wonderful conversation. Grown folk is very interested in talking to people who are in a certain stage of their life, and I've noticed that you're on this cruise in Central America, and I wanted to interview you because you are an ideal person for grown folk. So why did you decide to take the cruise?
It's a test cruise to see how I fared by myself. Because I plan on doing a lot more traveling, and I wanted to see how people would accept me, a woman traveling alone.
Have you done other things alone before you decided to travel alone?
Very much so. The past few years I've had to go business trips by myself, and I went to a couple of places in Canada by myself. And I find I get more comfortable, but I plan on going more places, so that's why I thought I'd try the cruise.
What are some of the things you have noticed, or what are some of the ways that people have engaged with you maybe differently now that you're traveling alone versus traveling with your children or traveling with your husband previously?
I think they have, they worry about me more than I worry about myself. People are uncomfortable that I'm by myself. You know, they want me to join them at the table, and they openly asked you, "Are you alone? Wouldn't you like to join us?" And I've had several people ask me that.
And how do you feel about that?
I'm really, how do I feel about that? I am enjoying my independence.
Okay.
And I don't always need that conversation. I like to people watch, not stare, but people watch. And I like to see what I can do on my own, and how comfortable I am. And I think most people feel like it's their obligation to include me.
Well, it sounds like that you're pretty comfortable with yourself and pretty comfortable with your own company. And not many women who reach this stage of life, and I like to call this our third adulthood. You know, in your 20s and early 30s you're learning, and your 30s through 50s you're producing, and you hit this point in your life, and this is when you make major change. And so for you, traveling alone is one of those changes. What other things do you feel is different for you now that you've reached this stage in your maturity?
Well, I almost was forced into this change. I was married for years, and my children, I centered my life around them, I guess you would say. And once I became an empty nester, I almost was forced into learning to live alone, to do things alone. So I feel good about it. I said I spent 2/3 of my life with someone else, always by my side, either husband or children, and I like not having someone by my side.
Well, as having reached this point in your life, many people decide that they're kind of developing what I would call their bucket list. And obviously taking this cruise is one of the things that was on your bucket list. Are there other things that you're thinking about doing now that maybe you hadn't thought about doing when you were younger, or you put off because you were busy with family and other types of obligations?
Well, I have taken what I call the fun courses, the adult education courses. Not for degrees or anything. I've taken some things that I really have always been interested in, like gardening. I also have taken an origami class and feng shui. So just interesting. And I'm the kind of person that always loves to learn new things. And I've had that opportunity to do that now at my own schedule and just for fun.
What are some things, other things that are on your bucket list, if you don't mind sharing those?
My bucket list. I've just a little things. I've always wanted to see Patti LaBelle, Mary J. Blige, and I've seen them. I also want to learn Spanish, so I plan on taking some, some freshman Spanish classes. I think it's a beautiful language. Just traveling.
There have been a number of classes on the ship. I know there was a Spanish class, and I think there's a towel folding class and some other things. Have you taken advantage of any of those things?
Not on the ship. This trip was pure entertainment and relaxation. I've seen a couple of the things that they had at the theater, and I went to bingo for the first time, and not the first time in my life, but for the first time in many, many years. I went to a bingo.
Did you win?
No. Definitely not win. Came close, but didn't win. I've listened to different music, and what I've most enjoyed on this trip is the diversity and variety and personalities of people. I think if I wasn't on the ship, some people wouldn't have struck up a conversation with me, but everybody that you sit beside, they strike up a conversation. Where are you from? And just tell you your life story, and maybe it's because they know they'll never see you again. But I've enjoyed that the most, is just meeting new people.
So, for other women who may consider traveling alone, you've indicated you've traveled for business alone and went out of the country before alone. What are some tips that you would give them if they're contemplating this? You know, we are such a society in which everyone is coupled off. And I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I go into a restaurant and it's just me and they just say, well, only one. But what are some things that you would suggest for other women who are contemplating traveling and may not have someone to travel with them?
I think the first thing is to research. Read about where you're going, what might interest you, what you would feel comfortable doing, and also your confidence level. Make sure you don't go around not being confident in where you know that you are alone. You don't have to go around like you're on the prowl or anything. Just, be yourself and be honest when people say, would you like to sit with me, or would you like to share a cab with me, or would you like to, share lunch with us? Just be honest and say, I have other plans, and or I'm, going to do. But I think the first thing that I do whenever I go is to research first, what I'm going to do. I add a little structure to it, and if it doesn't pan out, then that's all well and good.
So it sounds like you're saying flexibility is important.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
You just mentioned on the prowl. What does that mean for someone in your age group not to appear to be on the prowl?
Well, and it's not all my personality or the way I carry myself. I think people just are so set that you're looking for a man, you know? And I think they kind of pull their men close to the cuff, you know? And if you're not on the prowl, you still don't have to be standoffish. You can be friendly to the both of them. You know, the man and the woman are together. Be friendly to them. But I think it's all about the way you present yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm not on the prowl, mm-hmm. you know.
Mm-hmm. So you sounds like you're saying to be cognizant of how you engage with people. And it's true. You know, a lot of folk don't trust a woman who's out there alone. And it sounds like you're saying to be confident, be clear about how you feel and whether or not you want to do something, engage with people pretty effectively. And what do you think about some of the things that being a single person and traveling on your own, you know, many times there are surcharges by hotels sometimes, or there are surcharges for cruises if you are alone, and so you end up paying for the whole cabin double what two people are paying. What do you think about some of that, or what are some changes that maybe need to be made in the travel industry to accommodate more and more of us who are traveling this way?
Again, that comes with research. Before you even embark upon your trip or the adventure or what you're going mm-hmm. to do, it's a lot of research. And a lot of negotiations, I think, can take place. You know, ask them ahead, why is this? Is this your standard way of doing things? And if it is, and you don't want to go that way, then just research and find if there's another cruise line, another hotel, another restaurant mm-hmm. that doesn't have that same guidelines or rules. Mm-hmm. Just start researching, you know.
Great. Well, I have found talking to you very interesting, and it sounds like that you have a lot more plans to travel, that you're planning to do more. What are some of the places on your list that you're looking forward to visiting around the world in the future?
I have a very dear close friend that wants to do a Mediterranean tour that I will probably look into doing in the next couple years. Mm-hmm. I've been, you know, the Virgin Islands, Bahamas, that type of thing. But I think I'm going to venture across the Atlantic, you know. So, in a couple of years, mm-hmm. I would like to do mm-hmm. that.
And that'll be your first trip?
Yes, my first trip across the Atlantic.
What country would you consider to be the favorite that you're looking for?
Spain, of course, because like I said, I love the Spanish language. Probably Italy and France. Mm-hmm. I'm not that keen yet, and I think maybe the more I read up on or research, probably some of the Scandinavian countries. Mm-hmm. But mainly Spain, Portugal, Italy, and France.
Well, one of the things you said earlier was that, you know, you were married, you had children, now you're on your own. Do you see yourself thinking about finding a travel partner or a mate in the future since you enjoy
Not right now. Not right now. I've dated since I became a single person. Long-term relationship that I found that I enjoy being by myself more than I did in the long-term relationship. I will be financially independent. So as far as the only, I don't see myself right now looking for companionship.
Mm.
I've enjoyed my own companionship. My own thing. I love going to the movies by myself. I love going out to eat by myself. And I'm not going to say that it's never going to happen, that I won't someday. But right now, it doesn't cross my mind. It doesn't. I just love where I am right now.
That's great. So maybe you'll meet the man of your dreams somewhere in Spain or in Europe someday. Who knows?
Well, I haven't even dreamed of him yet, so maybe I don't know if I will or not.
So it's not a dream yet.
No, it's not a dream yet. I'm not looking for that yet. You know.
Okay. Well, great. It sounds like that this has been a very positive experience for you.
Very much.
That the cruise has been great, and it's kind of set the ground for some additional travel. I think you've shared some great tips for women who are traveling alone, and especially about engaging with others and being confident and the way that you carry yourself. So I am so appreciative of the opportunity to interview you for Grown Folk. And I just wish you continued good travels as you go forward.
Well, thank you. And again, this has been another great experience on this trip, you know, to be asked to be interviewed. And I appreciate that.
Well, you know, Grown Folk is a global, we want to interview women all over the world who are in the third adulthood of their life, and just really look at how women are making their lives significant in multiple ways. So again, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.